Let's talk about Arsenal and their winner against Bournemouth. I mean, that game, I don't know how much you saw that game. So I was working Southampton-Leicester game later in the day. So I'm in the kind of green room watching the games with like a bunch of football journalists. And I mean, it went wild. It went wild. I don't care who wins the league. You know, as you know, we always get accused of bias by fans, and that's fine, because you're allowed to be ultra biased when it comes to football. It's kind of one of the things we like about it. But I personally don't care who wins the league. All I want as someone who makes kind of my living out of working on the Premier League is different winners every year, mainly so I can lord it over like Spanish football fans, that sort of thing, just to generally be a dick to people who like other leagues. But it also gives a nice competitive edge, competitive feeling, a title race, all that sort of stuff, right? So City won it last year, so I'm happy for anyone else to win it. And if someone else wins it, City next year. And that's broadly true of most fans and journalists that I know, right? But everyone was supporting Arsenal in that last few minutes, I've got to tell you, everybody, because the way it ended, the narrative of the game. So we were told at the time by people who were kind of watching it on social media, whatever, that Philip Billings' goal was the 5th fastest goal in Premier League history. That's now been corrected. Philip Billings' goal for Bournemouth against Arsenal was clocked in officially at 9 seconds and 11 milliseconds. The second fastest goal in Premier League history. Do you know who the first is?
No, give it to me.
Shane Long.
Oh, Shane Long.
Shane Long for Southampton against Watford, April 2019, after 7 seconds and 69 milliseconds. And it's kind of, if I recall it right, it's like a chip from distance, which goes in with the keeper out of position. So it's the second fastest goal ever in Premier League history. Now, again, don't at me, because football did exist before 1992. I know that. Ian Rush should count on this Mo Salah talk this week. I know, but that's the way it goes. What do you want from me? In Premier League history, there have been just 2 times a team has scored a 90th minute winning goal, having gone behind in the first minute. Do you know who the other team was?
Give it to me.
Bloody Arsenal, wasn't it? 2007. Did it against Fulham, but not after a 9-second goal. Firstly, Bournemouth, terrific. We might not have time for it today, but some of the fight being shown by some of the teams in the relegation race is actually going to make it really, really exciting.
Yep.
Others, diabolical. But again, we may not have time. I don't know. But for Arsenal to come from that scoreline, the saves that Ramsdale made in the game, the injury to Trossard, still no Jesus, the feeling that any slip could cost them, to go and win it in that way. And when they got that corner, you know, time is well up here.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, come on, buddy, we're going to get a call. With the attack fails, they get a corner. Do we have time for it? Do we have time for it? They ballsed it up, and then it falls to Reece Nelson, who most people, I think, didn't realise was still playing for Arsenal. We barely seen him, and then he fires that shot. I mean, it's one of the most glorious finishes. Now, I think the commentators did a great job. They didn't embarrass themselves kind of squealing over it like fans. But the fans who squealed over that, the celebrations, the wildness, the euphoria. I mean, Dunny, that was, and again, I'm not an Arsenal fan. I know you're not either. But there was something so engrossing, encapsulating, invigorating about it. It was such a, you know, there's that cliche, isn't it? You couldn't write this. Well, they wrote like Star Trek. They invented a race called the Vulcans and a whole backstory for them. So this could be written, but it couldn't be written with a grander finish. What did you make to it?
I thought it was extraordinary. And I think in the last couple of matches, after the disappointment of VAR intervening, not intervening, and losing out on a couple of points, to see how this team has manufactured momentum back on their side is extraordinary. I mean, 2 weeks ago, we were talking about how in the world did they allow an 8-9 point lead to be whittled away so quickly? They don't have the guts, right? They don't have the panache to be able to see this out to win a Premier League title. That's not the case. I feel like I'm gonna take this on. I feel like my trash talking to Arsenal friends, I think I jinxed it. I felt as though I was comfortable enough at the stage in which I started firing off a couple of text messages that it was okay for me to there you go. Well done. And then it really backfired on me.
You got giddy, didn't you? You went Roy Keane.
I did. Full Roy. I did. And listen, 6 minutes shown of added extra time. Yes, an extra corner. I think Mikel Arteta would have popped his top had that corner not been given and full-time whistle being blown. And it just shows you that never say die mentality that this team, again, has manufactured within the confines of the training facility, within the group, within the locker room. Again, Arsenal, all or nothing on Amazon. Very worth your time.
This season? What a shame that last season on Amazon it's a total waste of everyone's time. Because in 10 years' time, you'll be like, "Oh, do you want to watch that Arsenal series? Oh, is it the year they won the league?"
No, it's the year they were getting rid of everybody. They were getting rid of Mesut Ozil. They were getting rid of Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang.
It's more like being like, "Oh, watch The Godfather. Which one? 3."
Start behind. So yeah, the goal was incredible. The scenes were incredible. And if you're an Arsenal fan, again, it's the feel-good factor. And it's, as much as we talk about momentum from Liverpool, it's the same type of momentum because there's something to be said about a group of players that know when they're not playing well, can figure out how to fix it, and a manager that can look down the bench and say, what can I get out of this guy? Who can I trust? Who can make the impact? Who can make the difference? And again, as much as I hate to say it, they've checked all the boxes, and they should win the Premier League title. They should. See, I'm trying to do a reverse jinx here. They should. There's no reason why Mikel Arteta and Arsenal shouldn't win this Premier League title. Reverse jinx.
I mean, they have the momentum. The momentum of that occasion and recent wins, the Villa win as well. You know, they're finding ways to win after 90 minutes up, and at that point they are not winning. It is genuinely incredible. And the goal, it's a superb technical finish. Like it's Reece Nelson. He's a good player. He's played for Arsenal for a long time, a couple of loans away, whatever. But this is not, Lionel Messi or whatever. It's not Gabby Jesus. It's not, a top level talent. It's someone who we were not going to speak about today under almost any circumstance. He's doing an incredible, almost like stress-free, super chill, could not hit it any better finish.
Yeah.
It was exceptional. I loved everything about that and the celebration too.